Hello dear ones, this is Leonora from the channel The Awakening Path, and today I want to talk to you about QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, developed by Dolores. But first, I want to thank you, each one of you that support my channel by subscribing, sharing, and leaving your likes and questions. Thank you very much. So Dolores, she created that technique about 50 years ago. And she was able to develop a technique where her clients was able to go in a deep trance, and by going to that deep trance, she was able to connect to their higher self. But first, let me explain you what trance means. What it means to be in trance? Well, when we are awake, fully awake, actually most of the time who is really controlling our mind, who is in charge of our mind, is our right brain that's more dominated by the ego mind and the rational mind. So those are in control. When you go in trance, it's like you put your ego in a back seat. Put your ego in the back seat and let your higher self or your subconscious speak. Basically is that. And when somebody go in trance, there is many levels of trance, and there is one level that you go really deep, that when you come back from the trance, you don't even remember anything that happened. Some go in a lighter state of trance where they intuitively they just know what to say, or the words just come out of their mouth, but they kind of remember everything or almost everything, but they're still in trance. So those are the types. And what Dolores realized was most of her clients, they would they look for them, not just because they were curious about what happened in their previous life. They had a problem in this current life that they had tried all sorts of things and they couldn't solve. So they went to search somewhere else in their past life, hidden in their subconscious, something to give you the answers and the reason, the cause of their issue. So when you go to when you are under trance, who is really in charge is your higher self. Your higher self is the one that will determine what type of information you are ready to know. They will not allow you to access part of your mind that by doing that will cause you problem, will not bring you any benefit. So just to keep that in mind. And usually when you have the idea to look for this type of therapy, it's your higher self guiding you there most of the time. If it doesn't go just for curiosity, but I highly doubt that the ego will send you to a healing to a hypnosis session because the ego likes to be in control. So I would say that most of the time is your higher self, because there is something that your higher self is trying to tell you, but you're not listening. So if you are open, then you try to send you to a hypnosis session. So when you are choosing for person that can do that, a professional, to do this kind of therapy with you, it's very important that you get to know the person, that you understand where is her frequency and the frequency of the place. Because if it's somebody that that's vibrating in fear, that's vibrating in any frequency under 200, they won't really be able to guide you the correct way. So just keep that in mind. Look for somebody that's already in a very good spiritual vibration. So when you get to the session and you go under trance, what happens? If you go light, what to expect? Well, you can go deep in trance or not deep in trance. If you don't go deep, some things may be showing to you, or just words will come in your mouth, and you're going to remember most of everything. If you go very deep in trance, you're not going to remember almost nothing. So that's one thing. And what to expect in the session? Your higher self will decide if there is any past life that for you to visit at that time. By you visiting at that time, will bring you some information that will help you in this lifetime. Needs to be helpful, or at least need to be something that will not cause you any harm. That's something that you are able to handle. And by going to another life, it can go to a life in the past or in the future, or any event that happened in this lifetime but you don't remember. And it can also take you in between lives. And when you say future life, past life, or here, it can be in anywhere in the cosmos, literally anywhere. So Dolores, she regret lots of people that went to past life in other planets, in other dimensions, or sometimes in a spaceship, and sometimes they will just regret for a certain date in this lifetime where they suspected something happened, they had a missing time, and she would ask for that time, and bingo, they had an encounter with extraterrestrials, and then they were able to describe. So during the sessions, usually if you are in a past life, you're gonna talk that personality of that past life will be the one talking. If you go to a between, it will be more a higher aspect of your soul that will be talking. And sometimes in some encounters, Dolores was talking to the entity, and there were other beings around that one, and the other being offered to talk. Using the channel, using the subject, what Dolores can call subject, they would interact. Let me give you an example. She regrets a lady that went to a spaceship, and then the lady was describing what they were doing, and Dolores was asking questions, and then she didn't know how to answer. And then Dolores, can you ask to one of them? And then they will tell her, and then she'll tell to Dolores, and then she'll get appointed as, okay, let me just speak straight to Dolores. So many amazing things really can happen. Because, and then I ask, but from where Dolores get all that information? Where all that information is stored? Well, if it's related to the present life, it's all in the subconscious. Your subconscious register in details everything that ever happened to you since the first connection when you were in the tummy of your mom. It knows everything and remembers everything. So it can be accessing your subconscious or also your Akashic records. And of course, you're talking to your higher self, and your higher self knows everything. So that's the thing. In the end of the sessions, the first idea when Dolores started, she realized, okay, we go to a past life, we figure it out what was the cause, and then we work on the solution. But when she was talking to the higher self and asking the questions to the higher self, the question that the person wants to know, and then there was the problem, the issue, and the higher self just, oh, she doesn't need that anymore. Let's just fix it right now. I said, what? You can do that? Of course you can do it. You can do anything. So they fix the problem right there on the spot. They fix the problem. And there is no limits. Okay, why you get sick? It's your body trying to call your attention to some problem. Some problem that's in your mind, in your conscious. When you learn that lesson, when you overcome, when you get the awareness that you need, you no longer need the disease. But sometimes this disease just keep hanging. You have to work really hard to get it away, even though it doesn't need anymore. Sometimes that's what happens. So if you are in a hypnosis session and you have a problem, if you already learned the lesson, your higher self can kill you right there. Or you tell, no, we're going to work on her and on him. It will take about a month or a week or 3 days. And many people has been healed of all sorts of things. Diabetes, things that cancer, things that didn't even have, the doctors say there is no cure. But the higher self can do it. When your higher self will refuse to heal you, when you will still need it. Your disease give you a certain experience that will bring you some awareness, that will give you some knowledge. When you still need that experience, your higher self will not take that chance away from you. So you have to complete the lesson. That's where the free will goes. You have to complete the lesson. You cannot just, oh no, I'm tired, let's skip that lesson, take this away. Because you work really hard to get this body here, to get this chance. The line for handicap is a way bigger. I'm talking about the incarnational line. People wait in line to incarnate, especially here on Earth at this time. The incarnation of handicap is 3 times longer than the others. Why? Because it's rich of very deep experience. And a person that come as handicapped can work issues of 10 incarnations. They can skip 10 incarnations in one incarnation if they really make a good use of it. So your higher self will not cure you if that diseases bring you any benefit. A benefit in the views of spirit, the experience, the awareness, the evolution, your soul evolution. That's what it's about. So next time I will gonna tell you what was my experience on my first QHHT. So just wait, something amazing happened and very unusual. I'm gonna tell you next time. Much love and light to you, and I hope if you are curious, if your higher self is trying to tell you, go have a hypnosis session. You don't need to feel afraid, but you need to find the right person, and your higher self will guide you for that right person. When I'll talk about my experience, I will explain how I knew that the person that I chose was the right person. You're gonna get a lots of sign. Sometimes literary sign written on a board. So that's how the higher self works. Much love and light to you, and see you next time.